Is now the time for you to refinance your home? What's happening? I'm JC with the Agajanian Group at Whissel Realty, and if you've been paying any attention to the videos I've been making and to the things I've been saying for the past several months, you're probably well aware mortgage interest rates are phenomenal right now. So what I'm hoping you're thinking is, should I be refinancing? Sidebar, if you don't own yet, let's talk. But let's talk about whether or not you should be refinancing your home in this market. Rates are great, so we've got three main things for you to consider when deciding whether or not a refi is good for you. The first thing to consider when determining whether or not a refi is right for you is the motivation behind it. Why are you trying to do this? There's a few good reasons to do this. The most obvious one is to reduce your overall payment, right? You got a one rate that's higher, go to one that's lower. You lower your monthly payment. That makes sense, that'd be great. Another really good reason to refinance is to change the terms of your loan. I've got a client who just last year refinanced from a 30-year fixed into a 20-year fixed. He's going to be owning that thing 10 years sooner outright. 20 years is going to go by pretty quickly. That's a great reason to consider refinancing your home. Another real good reason to consider refinancing is to take cash out. Whether you're consolidating debt, you've got a business opportunity, you're looking for another property that's going to make money for you, or maybe you want a vacation home, maybe you've got education needs for your children. Whatever the case may be, a cash out refinance is another good reason to refi your house. Reason number one, what's your motivation? The second thing to consider when deciding whether or not a refi is good for you is the cost associated, right? How much is this refinance going to cost me? They're not free. There's usually a 2 to 4% overall cost, including everything, the origination, the title, the escrow, the third-party fees. You're going to have a notary. There's lots of different stuff involved, even with something as simple as a mortgage refinance when compared with a mortgage purchase. But they're all necessary pieces of the puzzle that makes up your refi. It's also very complicated and there's lots of moving parts. So what you should really do is get connected with a lender to get an estimate up front, know exactly how much all this is going to cost, whether or not you can get credits from your lender, and how it's going to come together for you to make sure that we minimize the amount of fees that you're going to have to pay overall and make sure that this thing's worth it for you. I don't know if you know any lenders, but I do. I'd be happy to pass one on to you. All right, so we've covered the first reason, your motivation. Why do you want to do this refinance? And the second one, the cost, how much it's going to cost and what are the fees involved? What's the third thing to consider when deciding whether or not a refinance is good for you? Is it worth it? Basically, this is going to come down to some simple cost-benefit analysis. Really, you're going to look at the cost of the loan, either before or after credits or anything else like that is applied to your refinance fees. And then you're going to look at how much you're going to save. Then you're going to look at how long it's going to take for those savings to pay off the cost that you've laid out. If the cost-benefit analysis looks good and you're definitely going to be in the home longer than those savings are going to take place, then it's probably worth it. But here's the bottom line. You want to talk to a professional. Even though I have a history of doing mortgage work myself, I don't do it anymore, and I don't pretend to. So I'd be happy to connect you with some of the best lenders in the industry right here in San Diego who've been doing it for a long time. I've even got the one I work with on tap, and I know he'd be happy to chat with you. Call me up at 619-224-9898 to see if this is the right move for you.